Meeting is called to order. Please stand for the pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome, everyone, to the May regular Board of Education meeting for the Community High School District 94 Board of Education. Mission statement, please.
Community High School strives to promote and provide growth experiences in learning, leadership, and living.
Thank you, Rich. Board agreements, please.
Board member expectations. Board members will assume positive intent. Board members will treat each other with respect and be open and honest with each other and with the superintendent. Board members will speak professionally and keep discussions at board meetings relevant and focused.
Thank you, Lynn. Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Here.
Mr. Remus?
Present.
Ms. Munoz?
Here.
Mr. Nagel?
Present.
Mr. Sake?
Present.
Mr. Suniga?
Here.
Right. Student of the month.
Riley Salazar, named West Chicago Community High School April Student of the Month. West Chicago Community High School has selected Riley Salazar of West Chicago as Student of the Month for April 2024. He was selected by his teacher, who called him a great student director and a go-to guy for many. Riley is a senior who has consistently been on high honor roll and has earned a cumulative weighted grade point average of 5.438. Riley is part of the Music Honor Society, Student Council, We Go Global, We Go Drama, Film Club, Creative Writing Club, We Go Choir, and the Wildcat Chronicle. Riley currently works as a crew member at McDonald's. In his spare time, Riley has volunteered at Feed My Starving Children and various events throughout West Chicago Community High School and District 33. When asked about his favorite high school memory, Riley says, "I've made many high school memories, but one of them has got to be where we did a prank on choir teacher Brandon Fatozzi during the holiday concerts, where we wore and performed in shirts with his face on them." Riley has this advice for future Wildcats. "My advice would be to get involved in things. Don't hold yourself back from potentially making amazing memories and experiences because you are too afraid to take that chance. Go for it, because the feeling of messing up in the moment will never be as bad as the regret you will have for not taking that chance." After high school, Riley plans to attend College of DuPage, then transfer to university for pursuing a career in the film industry. Congratulations, Riley.
Congratulations, Riley. And now, the good news of the district.
The 2023-24 school year was a phenomenal one for West Chicago's journalism program and the Wildcat Chronicle. This year, the Chronicle was awarded a NSPA Pacemaker, which is the highest recognition a student newspaper can receive. The Pacemaker indicates that West Chicago's newspaper is one of the 12 best digital publications in the nation and one of only 2 schools in the state of Illinois to be recognized. At the national level, Kadisha Manjolo was awarded a superior distinction akin to second place in broadcast journalism. 2 of the Chronicle staffers, Sasha Baumgartner and Emily Ziajor, took honorable mentions in the photography competitions. Most recently, the Chronicle was awarded Best Digital Publication, Best Website, and Best Social Media by the Illinois Journalism Education Association in April. Sasha Baumgartner was also named to the IJEA All-State team for her behind-the-scenes work on the newspaper. Several individual students won awards at IJEA, including Sasha Baumgartner, Serious Commentary, Kadisha Manjolo, Emily Ziajor, Brandon M. Heath, and Devin Larimer, Best Multimedia Package. Kadisha took both first and second place in this category. Emily Ziajor, Best Sports Photo. Emily Ziajor, Best Editorial Cartoon. Ali Dusing, Juliet Payton, Fernando Cavillo Morales, Best Video Story. Adam Makovic, Best Headline. Additionally, 9 students placed in the IHSA Journalism Sectionals, which is even more of a triumph considering they had to compete virtually while simultaneously attending the national convention in Kansas City, or in Fernando's case, from the tennis court in the middle of a meet. Those students include Sasha Baumgartner, first place news writing, Danveer Gill, first place editorial writing, Sebastian Alarcon, second place, radio news. Brandon M. Heath and Riley Salazar, second place, video news. Michael Birdsell, third place, review writing. Kadisha Mangelo, fifth place, infographics. Fernando Cavillo Morales, sixth place, yearbook copywriting. Diana McIntosh, sixth place, advertising. At the IHSA state competition, the Chronicle received 3 awards in radio news. Sebastian Alarcon, fourth place, editorial writing, Danveer Gill, fourth place, and news writing, Sasha Baumgartner, sixth place. This is only our second time participating in the IHSA competition, so the results are fantastic and demonstrate the reporter's growth. At the Northern Illinois School Press Association in March, West Chicago staffers were awarded the Golden Eagle for journalistic excellence, the highest award a newspaper in the conference can receive. Additionally, the publication staff took home 8 blue ribbons, first place finishes, ranging from Jonathan Saucedo's financial column, Jonathan Says, to Mika Weber's coverage of the football team's playoff bid, to our editorial team's commentary on book banning. And 3 of our staffers were recently recognized as Journalists of the Year on Honors Night for their innovations to the school newspaper. Sasha Baumgartner, Editor-in-Chief, Kadisha Manjolo, Managing Editor, and Carlos Allen, Senior Sports Reporter. Quite frankly, none of this would have been possible without the hard work of all of our staff, but particularly the efforts of our journalism production team, which includes Sasha Baumgartner, Kadisha Manjolo, Danveer Gill, Emily Ziajor, Alexa Morales, Michael Birdsell, Ryan Zalak, Jonathan Saucedo, Sebastian Alarcon, Brandon M. Heath, Fernando Arroyo Garcia, Fernando Cavillo Morales, Miley Pegg, Carlos Allen, Zach Wigley, Drew Zeman, Eshar Amir, Janaya Villa, Sammy Mosh, Nancy Sanchez, and Mika Weber. Congratulations to all of you.
Anybody from the Chronicle have anything to say at this point?
Did I hear a woo-hoo?
Yeah, Leslie does.
Come on down.
There you go. There you go. Leslie? To the mic.
Come on. Come on.
Hello, everybody. My name is Micah Weber. I'm one of the staffers here at the Wildcat Chronicle, or I graduated a couple of days ago at NIU. That was fun. We have done an amazing thing this year at the Chronicle, due especially to the journalism production team. And one thing I just want to say really quickly is that we have done all of this with a surprisingly small budget. Everybody here has done so much more than would be possible for lesser skilled individuals. So there's that. Increase the budget, please.
Thank you for your comments.
I would just like to say thank you so much for your support. We've appreciated all of your, I know many of you read the Chronicle, and you've said kind words to us when we've passed you at games or in the hallway, and we're very grateful for all of that. So thank you so much.
Leslie, before you step away, I had a conversation with Leslie today, and I said to Leslie that it is remarkable of what the students have done. It's a student production, it's a student newspaper. However, it would not have happened but for you. And that's absolutely true, because if you look back at where the Chronicle was before you came and where his has come, it is amazing. And you are a testament to engagement with kids and excellent leadership. So thank you for what you've done.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations to everyone involved in the Wildcat Chronicle. All right, that brings us to public participation. This is the portion of our meeting where any member of the public can address the Board of Education on any topic. We welcome your comments and will carefully listen to your concerns. We will not be able to engage in a dialogue during public participation, but when appropriate, we will direct the administration to follow up. Presentations are limited to no more than 5 minutes per person, with a total time limit of 30 minutes for public participation. If you wish to make personal charges or complaints against individual employees, volunteers, or students of the district, we request that you send the board your concerns in writing rather than stating those concerns during public comment. If anyone currently present wishes to make public comment and hasn't already done so, please fill out one of the comment forms in the back of the room and hand it to someone seated at the table. At this point, we have received no comment forms and no electronic public comment has been submitted. So we will move on to reports and information. Director of Business Services report.
Yes, sir. On behalf of Dan Oberg, there are a few items to report from our Business Services Department. First, you may recall that at the October board meeting, you had approved the hazardous routes for the school year, which included anything south of Roosevelt Road and east of Route 59. You may not be aware, but it is required per Illinois School Code that hazardous routes are annually reviewed and approved. Dan would like to structure these reviews and approvals to occur every May moving forward. This will then allow our transportation provider enough time for adjustments to begin the next school year. Therefore, he has included under the consent agenda a request for approval of the existing hazardous routes without any changes. Next, as we prepare for the upcoming retirements of Chris Olson and Brenda Frenchman, the transition to new personnel in these roles is going very well. Laura Behrens and Valeria Vargas started May 1st and are soaking up as much of the 61 years of knowledge as they possibly can before the departure of Chris and Brenda this summer. Additionally, because Val changed positions, she is working with Isabel DeRamus in the bookstore to help with the transition for the cashier position. Additionally, our summer capital projects plans are all underway. Just a reminder that we are replacing the roof above the swimming pool and completing repairs to the Geneva and swimming pool parking lots. The projects inside of our school include renovating student washrooms in the science and math wings, as well as the small bathrooms on either side of the auditorium. There are also various life safety repairs and upgrades to doors and railings in the older section of the building. Finally, you may recall Dan sharing earlier that he submitted a grant request through the State Board of Education for our life safety projects. He is excited to share that we were awarded that grant and have already received the funds for the projects in the amount of $50,000. Dan has met for initial planning meetings with all contractors and will have benchmark meetings throughout the summer to ensure everything stays on track. He will keep the board apprised of the progress throughout the summer. Any questions?
Thank you for sharing Dan's report. All right, Director of Human Services report.
All right, good evening. We are currently in the final week of open enrollment, which closes on May 24th. We have offered a number of educational opportunities to help staff members make the most practical and economical decisions for their families, including both an in-person and on-demand benefits presentation, a Q&A session during all lunch hours, and a Spanish language and tech support session. The district, along with all of the other EBC member districts, is also preparing for a dependent eligibility audit this fall, which will be beneficial both in terms of our exposure and overall costs. Employees are aware of this upcoming mandatory dependent eligibility audit and are able to take that into consideration as they go through the open enrollment process. Speaking of the EBC, I am excited to share that the district has once again reached Tier 3 status with the EBC Wellbeing Incentive Program. To reach this highest tier, the district must have a robust and active wellness committee that offers regular programming aligned with staff interests, educate staff and take advantage of value-added programs, host an annual biometric screening and flu shot clinic, and engage in wellness activities and health challenges. The district exceeded these requirements again this year. As a result, the EBC will provide an incentive equal to 0.75% of the district's projected annualized premium, which is around $28,000, and those funds have been earmarked for a staff health insurance rebate, as well as for funding regular staff wellness programming. Shout out to the Wellness Committee, led by Allie Cockrum and Tracy Lucas, for their tremendous efforts again this year. Next, you'll find a recommendation related to miscellaneous wages for FY25 in tonight's agenda, which reflects the changes presented at the COW meeting earlier this month. As a brief summary of those changes, you'll see a $1 increase to the hourly rates for external subs, as well as a $34 per period rate. This is new for licensed D94 retirees who return to sub. There are also updated rates for temporary and student workers, as well as an increase of $5 per event to voluntary event work rates. And finally, as is our tradition with new administrators, it is my distinct honor to introduce you to our recommended candidate for Assistant Director of Specialized Services, James Karras. Jim, if you'll please stand. Jim Karras began teaching in 2007 and has worked as a special education teacher, building interventionist, and elementary assistant principal. He is
position we have been working on these past months since we last discussed this topic.
Over $23 million in scholarship money, and they accepted over $4.5 million of those dollars. Although these numbers are astounding and certainly a reason to be proud of the seniors, I also want to celebrate the human reality behind the numbers. The students worked incredibly hard to achieve these numbers. They chose AVID as an elective, knowing more would be asked of them, and they rose to that occasion. They are true Wildcats, and we couldn't be more proud. Their teachers worked alongside them and helped them across the finish line. Jen Culbertson, Nick Kemsky, Michelle Walters, and Rich Cost all have worked with these students over the years and built in them the confidence to succeed. I would also be remiss if I did not mention the growth of this program with Nick Kemsky from where it started to where I was able to take it. It's always very nerve-wracking to take on something that has done so well and has grown so well. And so those are big shoes to fill. And I hope I'm somewhat, doing that. Maybe I'm a poor man's Nick Kemsky, but I'm out here trying my best. AVID really is a family. The kids feel that, and we, the teachers, feel that as well. If any of you got a chance to see any of our end of the year AVID activities that we did, I know some of you were able to stop by some of those things, really special moments. The number of kids that we have referring to what we do in our classroom and the experience that they have as a family is, I think, what really shows the true measure of what it is. And so we're really proud of that as a team. The support of the administration also helped get us where we are today. Len Egan continues to support us in our department, and we are so grateful for everything he does to make sure our students get what they need to get the most out of the program. Dr. Dwyer, our interim superintendents, our future superintendent, and the rest of the administration should also be commended for supporting our students. Seeing their faces at events and in our classrooms helps the students see that they value the work that is happening in AVID. So thank you so much for being a presence for them. Lastly, thank you to you, the board, and the community for supporting this program and seeing the value in it. As I stated in my email to you, programs like these only succeed if they are supported. Thank you for trusting us, and thank you for providing the staffing and resources needed to grow and maintain this program. I hope we have made you proud. So without further ado, here's our video.
Network may be a little slow. Fortunately, it's playing, but the projector seems to have frozen. Let's try it again. So I think we are going to have an issue as we are on generator power right now. It may be intermittent here.
Want to come back to it at the
Why
end?
don't we maybe come back to it later?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we on generator right now? Is that-
It sounds like this side of the building is currently.
Okay.
It's restored over there, and hopefully it's over here soon, too.
All right. Well, definitely thank you for your presentation and for all the wonderful things that the AVID program does for our kids. That's a wonderful program.
And very quickly, Ms. Stadler, I believe this is on social media, correct? It will be tonight, as well as, I do want to include, Ms. Stadler, the money included, the millions awarded, does not include FAFSA. This is money awarded directly to the kids from universities and colleges.
We could also send out a link to the board members so they can view it privately, too.
That would be good. That would be good.
Thank you.
Will, did you have anything else at this point, or?
That concludes my report.
Okay. That brings us to teaching and learning report.
Good evening. During the last month, faculty and administrators have begun planning for summer curriculum work, professional development during the summer months, as well as beginning induction planning for 24-25 school year. The summer course teams will collaborate on a variety of projects intended to continuously improve target-based curriculum instruction and assessment, essentially making sure that we're aligned to what the standards are expecting of us. This will include both core and elective areas. Core work will include English, inquiry-based unit design, so very much trying to have students construct knowledge in courses such as Sheltered English 1, proficiency scale writing in English 1 honors, and that will be based on the professional development that we provided this year through Becky Pepler at First Educational Services. We also have a new course that'll be coming on next year. It's technically transitional English. So like the transitional math course that was implemented a few years ago, this is going to be an English for Modern Rhetoric course. Essentially, the intention of that is to be able to make sure that our students can be credit bearing going into especially COD, that kind of situation where they wouldn't have to take any kind of remedial coursework. In math, they're going to be working on building thinking classrooms. So as you learned earlier this year when we did that presentation, having the students at vertical surfaces, so they'll be working on more development of that, as well as curriculum for geometry and construction, which is becoming a reality for us. They'll also be doing AP Pre-Calculus, which will be a new course for us, as well as continued work on AP Calculus itself. Even physical development will be doing work this summer, and that's going to include all three areas of PE, driver's education, and health work. Social studies is really going to focus on aligning to the new Illinois learning standards for social science, so that'll be another change for them as well. And work will also occur in AP US history and macroeconomics, both on assessment and then retake writing. As you know, we're 2 years into a retake policy where students are allowed to retake summative assessments, and so that requires the teachers to simply have more assessments prepared for students to engage in. Science will be working on implementing of next generation science standards. And then in the elective areas, we'll have work going on in drawing for Drawing 1. There'll be a new program that they're going to be using called Procreate, so one word, but Procreate. That'll be for our digital art curriculum. Their slogan is Art is for Everyone. So, if you can't draw, then digital art is maybe the next best place to be. The music department is going to work on assessment and grading with a focus on rubrics in that area, as well as curriculum and assessment for AP music theory. So we'll really have some nice work going on in AP, as well as just kind of generally across the curriculum for 9th through 12th. Drama will be working on mapping, looking at targets that they would like to see that the students are able to achieve, as well as disciplinary vocabulary. And then in student services, they're going to have a number of different kinds of priorities that they're going to be focusing on. They run more than 20 groups throughout the year during den time, so that focuses on a variety of topics, including kind of attendance, a number of areas that the students are selected to participate in, so they'll be working on that. They'll be working on integrating some of the ASCA standards into the current work that they're already doing, as well as AVID work as well. Yes, for those courses, but also integrating some of those strategies across the curriculum in other areas for the teachers who attend AVID training. In addition to that, we're going to have summer professional development in 3 areas. So we'll have faculty and administration participating in professional development for AVID, for geometry and construction. So that will be both math, the construction component through tech, and then the administrators in both of those areas. We have a course that can precede geometry and construction that we'd like to look at implementing in another year, and that's called AMPed. Which is Algebra, Manufacturing, Process, Entrepreneurship, and Design, which is definitely why you need the acronym. And then there'll also be some AP pre-calculus professional development going on. In terms of new faculty, Julie, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I think we're about 17 faculty in for the not involving administration. So Julie has been aligning some of the flex days that we'll have, and we'll have faculty come in over the summer, and then we'll have the 3 days of training. And one of the things that we'd like to do is involve more faculty in that training component. And then we'll also really focus on kind of the procedural component for teachers, really working on classroom management in addition to instruction. And then finally, we want to continue to look at the dual credit component, which would enable us to extend our pathways into additional areas in the future. So we're going to be working with COD over the summer to begin doing some transcript evaluation of faculty that we have in the building who do have master's degrees in the content area. That would potentially enable us to offer additional dual credit courses in areas of business, architecture, which would potentially be the construction pathway, health services, as you'll remember from Scott Albright from earlier this month, as well as IT, and then potentially marketing and speech. And with that concludes my report. Thank you.
Your report. Student Board Representative report.
Good evening. My name is Janaya, and I'm nearing the end of my sophomore year. I want to start by thanking Dr. Dwyer and everyone in this room for allowing me to talk about student life here at WeGo. It means a lot, not just to me, but to all the students, to have adults actively listening to us and attempting to improve our community. As the year comes to a close, I want to take my time today to talk about my experience in terms of my transition as a transfer student, being involved in academics. I began my time here in early December of 2022, when there were 2 weeks before first semester finals, and I could not have asked for a better support system. Thanks to all of the amazing teachers at the school, my transition as a transfer student was incredibly smooth sailing and welcoming. At first, I was a little overwhelmed by the kindness I was treated with, because at my previous schools, staff members did not attempt to build connections with any of the students. As my time went on, I became more comfortable and wanted to get involved. The abundance of activities that our school offers gives students the ability to explore a variety of different interests, and I think that being involved has a lot of amazing benefits. For me, I am part of the Honors A Cappella Chamber Choir, Concert Choir, WeGo Global, WeGo Drama, where I serve as a student director and active member, Thespian Honor Society, and the Wildcat Chronicle. Being involved in these activities has allowed me to get out of my comfort zone, improve my communication skills, better my time management, and form lifelong friendships. The bonds I have with my teachers and club directors amazes me, as I never thought there would be so many adults in my life, other than my parents, that I could look up to and learn from. I am grateful for the community here at WeGo, and I have never felt more like I belong somewhere than I do here. Going forward, I think we should continue to encourage students to be involved in as many activities as they can handle, and we should continue to enable teachers to form appropriate relationships with their students. As for academics, the curriculum is both challenging and engaging. I appreciate that we have the opportunity to do retakes and visit academic support. I really love English, and I hope to major in it when I go to college. This year, I was taught by Mr. Aiello, and I was able to learn so much from him. I thoroughly enjoyed that aspect of my academics. I've heard that there's been talk of certain career pathways that could help with college credits and professional experience. As a Wildcat Chronicle staffer, I hope to see journalism incorporated into that, so that students looking to have a career in journalism can get future credit for all their work on the Chronicle. I've learned so much from it, and so many would benefit from taking it. Thanks to journalism, I have been able to manage my social anxiety and overall have a better understanding of certain works and ideas. Without it, I doubt I would have been able to understand a lot of what Mr. Aiello taught me. Overall, my experience in terms of academics has not been bad. It isn't difficult to keep up or pass my classes, and I look forward to learning more next year. Another thing I think we should reconsider is how we use DEN. A lot of staff members know that I have incredibly strong opinions against DEN time, but I'm not here to berate it. I think that DEN is a great idea, but I wish that we had more engaging and age-appropriate lessons. This year, DEN was not living up to its intentions. I know that a lot of people really love it, and it's helpful for the seniors. However, I think that our entire school would be at an advantage if we started SAT and college prep in the lower grades as well, not just for upperclassmen. Freshmen and sophomores are interested in financial literacy, so I hope to see more life lessons like how to write a check, do taxes, or something to that extent for the underclassmen. Not only that, but some lessons can be sort of repetitive, such as failure and how to deal with conflict. Instead of those, I suggest maybe doing some sort of class bonding exercise, since DEN is supposed to help build connections. I hope that next year you continue to take student feedback on DEN to get an understanding of what students would like to see in their classes. To wrap up, I hope that this has provided some insight on student life here at WeGo and how we can better improve our community. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you for your honest and well thought out comments. All right, superintendent's report.
I think we should have our student deliver the superintendent report.
She's very good at it.
She's doing a much better job. Well, good evening. Dr. Weniger and I would like to congratulate the class of 2024 for their recent graduation. It was a joy to participate in the commencement ceremony last Wednesday as 484 of our seniors walked across the stage. We're thankful for all the support these students have had from their families and the education-related adults who have influenced them along the way. Congratulations to everyone and good luck with their futures. For everyone else, final exams for all freshmen, sophomores, and juniors have been Monday through Wednesday of this week. Congratulations to our faculty and to all students for a successful school year. Our employees' last day is Thursday, which is the records day, and we wish everyone a safe and relaxing summer. Last week was filled with celebrations. In addition to the commencement ceremony, we also had our senior convocation, which is the awards night for those students recognized for various achievements and for achieving scholarships. Thanks to Heather Novak for putting together the beautiful Honors Night event program, a copy of which is at your seat. Please take that home and peruse through it. It's a wonderfully put together program, and it exemplified the fine evening of celebration of our seniors. Also, the monthly student enrollment report for April is included in your packet. Again, this report indicates beginning enrollment, adds, drops for each month, and the ending enrollment for the month. Also, we have not received any FOIA requests, yay, although we did just receive one that's new. But since the last boarding, we have not had any that we've responded to. And that is the end of our superintendent's report. Any questions?
All right, thank you for that. Committee and representative reports.
Thanks, Mr. Brown. Good evening, everyone. The board has in its packet a two-page memo regarding the last couple of DEOS board meetings, but there are a couple of items that I would like to highlight. First of all, on April 29th at TCD, they held the National Technical Honor Society induction ceremony. 2 of our students, proudly, were inducted into that society, Jennifer Correa and Lam Trong, both obviously from West Chicago High School. Congratulations to Jennifer and Lam. Also, the DEOS board heard a recommendation to add 2 student services assistants, which are essentially special education aides for next year because the enrollment is going up. But more notably that they believe, the administration has projected that unlike most traditional high schools in which the special education population comprises approximately 14% of the student population, theirs were, their TCDs will hit almost 30%. And as a result, there's some additional support that's needed. So they're going to, the board will vote on those additional 2 positions in June. In addition, due to increased enrollment as well as identified security needs, the TCD recommendation administration is recommending an additional security position for next year. And also, for years, the Technology Center of DuPage has had an emergency first aid provider in order to provide first aid services to students and staff. As a result of some auditing and some assessments that were done this year, they've decided to eliminate that position and employ a full-time registered nurse at the center, which is much needed given some of the programs which have some safety issues. And finally, the TCD administration also has reviewed the current early childhood and education care program, and that review led them to see that 23 out of 24 member schools offer that program at the home schools. And as a result, at the end of next school year, that program will be dissolved, and any student that is currently in that program will have to then take those courses back at their home school. And I'm happy to entertain any questions from either those items or any other item in the memo.
Next, we have the LEND report. Board member Gary Sake and I attended the April 26th LEND meeting. At that meeting, the LEND co-chair, Kristen Fitzgerald, explained the organization's efforts to begin advocating for our public schools with federal legislators. LEND, you may be aware, LEND's previous lobbying efforts have been limited to state-level lobbying with Illinois legislators in Springfield, so this certainly constitutes expanding LEND's efforts and reach, which is a great thing for all DuPage school districts. Additionally, the directors reviewed a myriad of bills that may impact our public schools, most of which are either in committee or their status is pending. I also attended the in-person LEND meeting this last Friday, May 17th. At that meeting, the LEND Council Board voted to approve the fiscal year 25 dues, which is approximately a 5% increase for all members. They reviewed the current members. There were a change. One school district dropped off, another school district joined. So currently, out of all school districts in DuPage, there are only 2 school districts that are not going to be members of LEND for next year. They also approved the fiscal year 25 budget and the slate of executive officers for the upcoming school year. They also reviewed the status of various bills that are hung up in committee. And I say that because next week is noteworthy as legislative sessions in Illinois end, and there is a lot of activity that is pending. So if we receive any update at the end of this week or during next week, I will forward all that in, to our board members. If you have not already, please review the meeting presentation slides for both of those meetings, which are included in your packet, and let me know if you have any questions. We also had a SACID report. Now, let me bring that up and I'll go through it. Last SACID Board of Directors meeting was April 16th. Just a couple of items from that short meeting. The Board of Directors approved a revised organizational chart for the 24-25 school year, and then approved new classroom and office lease agreements for the upcoming school year. The interim executive directors shared a few updates. Finance Committee Chairperson Keith Filipiak, he reviewed the committee's recommendation for adjusting bill practices that would ensure both the member and non-member school districts pay for the services that are actually received, a novel concept. As noted, this realignment included charging non-member school districts a 10% upcharge, which is standard across Illinois. The Board of Directors will vote on this item at the next meeting. They also reviewed the summary of variables being considered for the budget's development, and they discussed the final locations for SACIT classrooms and offices for next school year. And finally, they reviewed the monthly enrollment report for the cooperative and the April Cooperative Corner newsletter, both of which are linked in your report. The next Board of Directors meeting for SACIT is tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. at the SACIT offices in Lisle, and I will be in attendance. Any questions?
Thank you for those reports, gentlemen. All right, a reminder of future dates. June 4th is a Committee of the Whole meeting. June 18th is a regular Board of Education meeting. And July 16th is also a regular Board of Education meeting.
Do you want to remind?
Right, the July COW meeting has been canceled. There's no need to have one, agenda-wise. All right, any open comments from board members?
I will once again make my request that the Title IX investigation be released to the public and to the board members. This is the last time that I'll be asking for this, because I'll be turning it over to the Attorney General for a ruling, because I believe it should be public information. It's not, should not be closed session information.
Any other open comments?
Yes, I'd like to add to that too. It's been a full year as of last Thursday since the that apparently, based on the Title IX report, seemed to be valid. This board chose not to pursue any investigation, and are highly regrettable in my opinion. And with that, a full year has passed. It has been 6 months since the Title IX report verbally presented to us, and there have been numerous requests by Mr. Sake, Mr. Nagel, and myself to have a copy of that report provided. Never received any legal validation as to why we are not being allowed to get it. And I concur with Mr. Sake that the next step is going to the Attorney General to receive something I don't believe should be held back from us. And also, I'm not quite sure that that meeting where that was discussed was a legal meeting. I think we were misled to do that, and that's rather concerning. So I want to get that report, and I want to get it now. Last comment we had was that our legal counsel recommended us having patience. Well, I think a year and 6 months requesting it, the patience is running out. We've had patience. Enough is enough. There is no reason why that's not being provided, and that's not being provided to the public. So, thank you for that, but it's time.
Any other open comment from board members?
On a lighter note, I'd like to commend the administration and the students and the parents on the graduation. Everybody was very well behaved, as far as I could tell, and it went very well. Again, the sound, at least on the stage, is pretty bad. I could barely understand what anybody was saying. So if there's anything that can be done about that, but otherwise it was well received. I had heard from a couple of people that were there that thought it was phenomenal. So,
any other comments from anyone?
I was also going to add to that with commencement. I also appreciated how they had it in the backboard there. They had a live translation in Spanish for our family, so I really did appreciate that. So, thank you.
That was nice. This was the first year they did that, I believe. So that was a very nice addition. I like that. Any other comments? All right, any future issues? Hearing none, we move to consent agenda. Does anyone wish any item removed from the consent agenda for separate action? Hearing none, the recommended motion is to approve the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes, both open and closed, from the April 16th regular Board of Education meeting, the approval of minutes from the open meeting on May 7th, the approval of financials as detailed in the agenda, the approval of the imprest fund, the resolution designated interest earnings, the appointment of Daniel T. Morris as the treasurer, and the stipend of $5,000 for the 2024 to 2025 school year, approval of the treasurer's bond, approve depository accounts for district funds, approve the interfund transfer, approve the annual approval of transportation safety hazards, approve the personnel report as handed out, updated at table, and the fiscal year 2025 miscellaneous wages recommendation as all detailed in the agenda. Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Zuniga?
Aye.
Motion carries. There being no old business, that brings us to new business. First action is the DuPage County Regional Office of Education and Community High School District 94 Memorandum of Understanding. The recommended motions to approve said Memorandum of Understanding.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Zuniga?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is the petition to name the pool. The recommended motion is to approve the petition and name the pool the Dan R. Johnson Natatorium.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion at this point?
I'm not seeing that motion.
There were a couple items that the recommended motions were not, unfortunately, put in the agenda itself. It's in the memo that's attached to that item.
Yeah, we apologize.
There was a mistake made with the agenda on the first three items of the new business, unfortunately.
In reviewing the petition, there were 2 or 3 different requests for different names, the natatorium and the pool, and without being able to see the exact motion, I'm wondering, are we approving what the petitioners are actually wanting in terms of how we're going to name this? I think there was a Dan R. Johnson Pool, natatorium, Dan Johnson Pool. It was a little confusing as to what was really being asked, and whatever that motion is probably going to be what we're going to move forward with. So I'd like to make sure everybody's clear on that.
So the motion is to approve the petition to name the pool the Dan R. Johnson Natatorium. So since the May Cow meeting, I met with Corey Stiglitz, who's here, who spoke at the meeting, and wanted to be assured that the folks that she worked with, including Sherry, who's also here, had an understanding about what the name was going to be. And then I also met with several members of the building leadership team and asked them what they thought it should be named. And there was consensus from both that it should be the Dan R. Johnson Natatorium. Regardless of what it's going to be named, I think it's going to be called the Dan Johnson Pool. I think that in the vernacular, people are going to say, well, it's the Dan Johnson Pool or the Johnson Pool or something like that. We talked about a number of different items about that, Rich. Interestingly enough, apparently Dan had the nickname of either DJ or DJ, right? And we batted that around, but thought that it would be most respectful of who Dan was and the contributions that he made to the community, that it be named the Dan R. Johnson Natatorium. And then people are going to call it, much like Bishop Jim is called Bishop Jim when, the name of that person is something longer than that.
That's right. I just wanted to make sure the official motion was what people wanted, because once we do that, that's going to be what it is. So.
And then as a quick follow-up to that, and it's a little bit of a tangent, but not quite. I took your thought about making sure that any named facility, that the plaque or whatever we have that is on the outside of that particular facility be standardized across the school. So I contacted DLA Architects and also contacted a couple of other school districts that have plaques that honor either individuals or have names on facilities, and am working with those to find out exactly what we could do. So the options are basically two that would, again, be respectful of the people for whom the facilities are named. One is a bronze plaque, which is very heavy and very expensive. The other one is an aluminum plaque, which is probably about 60% of the cost of a bronze. It's much lighter. It would look identical because they can color the aluminum the same color that a bronze is. And you can have the likeness image of an individual on that plaque, as well as text that would indicate, for example, the contributions, in this case of Dan Johnson, to the community, as well as a title on the top that would say the Dan R. Johnson Natatorium. So we're working on that. I'll probably hand it over to Kurt, because that plaque, as an example, those plaques would take about 6 weeks to create. And both companies that I'm currently talking with have installation as part of what they do. And one of the things that needs to happen is that we have a lot of history that is most recent and recorded about Dan Johnson. History about the Wyrock Auditorium and the Bishop Gym is not as readily available, so there's going to have to be some research done on that. And we have some research about the CAM LRC, which is, of course, former Superintendent Dick Cam. So those things are in progress, and I just wanted to update Richard and the board on those.
Thank you for the update.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? All right, I'll just say it's been a long road, and I'm glad that we have the opportunity to make this happen tonight. Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Ms. Munoz.
With gratitude and pride, aye.
Mr. Nagel.
Aye.
Mr. Sake.
Aye.
Mr. Suniga.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer.
Very happily, aye.
All right, very happily, the motion carries. Thank you for all of your efforts to make this happen. All right, next item is fiscal year 2025 Appendix B recommendation. The recommended motion is to approve the Appendix B recommendation as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nagel.
Aye.
Mr. Sake.
Aye.
Mr. Suniga.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Ms. Munoz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Fiscal year 2025 copy paper bid results. The recommended motion is that the Board of Education approve the bid proposal from Murnane Paper Company, Elmhurst, Illinois, for the procurement of paper during the 2024 to 2025 school year in the amount of $60,029.20.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Sake.
Aye.
Mr. Suniga.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer. Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Ms. Munoz.
Aye.
Mr. Nagel.
Aye.
Motion carries. Annual furniture order. The recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the quote from Warehouse Direct Displays, Illinois, in the amount of $146,857.52, including delivery.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Suniga.
Aye.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Ms. Munoz.
Aye.
Mr. Nagel.
Aye.
Mr. Sake.
Aye.
Motion carries. Care Solace contract. The recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the renewal contract with Care Solace, Inc. to assist students and parents in locating and connecting with mental health treatment providers for the term of July 1, 2024 through June 30th, 2025, in the amount of $10,335.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown.
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer.
Aye.
Mr. Ramos.
Aye.
Ms. Munoz.
Aye.
Mr. Nagel.
Aye.
Mr. Sake.
Aye.
Mr. Suniga.
Aye.
Motion carries. Staff laptops purchase. A, Recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the purchase of 72 staff laptops from CDWG, Chicago, Illinois, in the amount of $69,501.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Suniga?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Motion carries. Part B, the recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the purchase of 147 staff laptops from B&H Photo, New York, New York, in the amount of $110,707. Any discussion?
What's the difference between them?
I don't know.
Touchscreen is more like a tablet, what I have, as opposed
So it's
to
different
a
models?
larger laptop. Yeah.
Staff were given an option.
Staff
Were given an
choices.
option between, right.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Suniga?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Ms. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Motion carries. Additional music library storage system purchase. The recommended motion that the Board of Education approve the quote from Wenger Corporation, Owatonna, Minnesota, for the purchase and installation of a music library storage system in the amount of $12,242.07.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Suniga?
Aye.
Motion carries. Press Policy Issue 114. The recommended motion is that the board approve a first reading of the policies as detailed in the agenda, with special note that there is a brand-new policy, Policy 2:270, discrimination and harassment on the basis of race, color, and national origin prohibited.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Suniga?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye. Motion carries. And finally, recommended motion is to approve a first reading of some language updates and reference updates to Policy 7:190, student behavior.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Ramus?
Aye.
Ms. Munoz?
Aye.
Mr. Nagel?
Aye.
Mr. Sake?
Aye.
Mr. Suniga?
Aye.
Mr. Brown?
Aye.
Ms. Casey Mayer?
Aye.
Motion carries. And that's all of our business for tonight. At this point, is there a motion to adjourn?
Moved. Before we do, I'd like to just circle back to the county ROE memo of understanding. I wasn't fast enough to get to that, but there's all these acronyms that I just don't know what they mean. RSS, ALLP, CCS.
Various programs and intervention programs that they.
I understand. It would be helpful, at least, the first time an acronym is presented into something, that it be spelled out so people understand. I have the same problem with work. There's, everything is acronyms, and the same acronym can mean 10 different things depending on the context. So it would be helpful, I guess I'll pass this along to the new superintendent, when we get initials and things to at least the first time be identified what it is, so we can kind of understand what we're reading.
Good point. Good point. Or at this point, we were looking for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Is there a second?
We have the motion to adjourn.
Did somebody make it before
Yes,
Rich stepped in?
there you
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're done, and good meeting, everyone, and enjoy the cicadas.
This isn't like here in the front where it's in front of the ISSP, but regional safe.
Thank you. All my every joke I cracked.
And then this